also dedicated to the services of the organizations since 2.5 decades, and she's been continuously inspiring a lot of people to apply spirituality into practical life, and she's a regular faculty of not just the business industry wing, but also the various wings of Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation, IT wing being one of them. Sister is also known for her creativity. She's created many modules which can be applied in corporate culture and which can be practically applied in their work and personal life. And she's also written 2 wonderful books. It is those spiritual tools which will help us in our practical life. A lot of people have been asking questions over the years to Sister. So there's a nice book, Solutions for Daily Life. It's an easy readable thing. It's a simple question and answer of how we can apply that particular knowledge point into that particular situation. So today we're going to hear Sister, who's visited both in India and abroad in many, she's invited to many forums and has benefited a lot of people. So over to Sister Radhika for the 8 powers.
Om Shanti. I'm sure that you're able to experience the serenity, the calmness around you in this environment. It is so unique and it is so fulfilling. Being in this environment does not tire you, even if you were to wake up 4 in the morning, because it's totally charged. But then you can imagine how would it be if we are totally charged all the time. Once back at home, in your workplace, to be charged in the sense that there is something called, I remember maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, there was a program that was we were doing all over India, which is called the Future of Power. And these sessions were for people who are just about 10 or 12 or 15 and not many. And it's a half-a-day session and more of introspection than any other things, most of a conversation that we would have with them because they were heading organizations. So the topic came about is soft power and hard power. I think that was the first time I ever heard it. Hard power is something that you achieve through your skills and through your skill set, through your qualifications, through your exposure and experience. You get the hard power that you are an authority over a particular subject. But soft power is something that works from within, and that has the most impact. Because we had these questions put out for them who are leaders. They were leaders who are running big companies, and the question they asked them was, who inspires you the most and who made you what you are now? So I was internally, I was just sitting there, I was an observer, and I was thinking probably they're going to say someone like someone who's achieved a lot in their field, or maybe Mahatma Gandhi or Swami Vivekananda or something like that, who just inspired us. So in that 12 of them, all of them said mother or father, mostly mother, who inspired us the most. 1 or 2 said grandmother, grandfather. So they were not, and most assured, their mothers were not that qualified. None of them were actually. They were not qualified, they were not running companies, but they could inspire them to run big companies. And that's amazing. So that's what we understand as soft power, the impact of soft power, which comes from values of trust and love and respect, and purity, compassion. This has more impact on others than any sort of authority, any sort of knowledge that we might have, that we put across to the world.
I'm not saying you shouldn't have hard power, but then I should be able to work with this hard power through my soft power. I'll give you an example how it works in a practical setup. There was someone who was sharing with me, and he works in one of these IT companies, and he heads a team, a small team, and he's really good. He's come up to that role very quickly, and so he has people who are reporting to him almost his age. Most of them were his age. But then he has to have this authority where he has to get things done. It seems he went up to one of his, his team members, and he went up to one of them and said, "Do quickly. Don't delay, do quickly. Boss will be angry." Because they have that boss that they have to report to. He's going to get angry. He told in Hindi, "Jaldi jaldi karo, boss ko gussa aayega." So he said, "Change the way you're speaking." I'm sure they're in friendly terms, They said, "Change the way you're saying." He said, "What do you want me to say? Don't do anything and sit back and relax. You want me to say that?" I said, "No. Say, you have responsibility, you can say it, but say it in a different way." He said, "You want me to change my tone? How do you want me to tell?" He said, "You're saying, do it quickly, boss will get angry, right? Say the same thing, but you say, do it quickly, boss will be happy." टेंशन क्यों दे रहे हो? जल्दी जल्दी करो, बॉस खुश हो जाएगा. It is just not changing a word. It is changing an attitude. That is power. That should come from within. A lot of people come up and ask me, "Sister, I don't know how to correct people. How do I go about that?" I can tell you, you need to have patience, you should have compassion, you should have understanding, you should be able to empathize. I can give you a whole list of things. But without the power, it seems too much hard work and you have no time for that. I mean, managing people, so many, and then, I have to be patient, and I can't. Somebody called me and they said they want to learn meditation. And I asked him, why? I always ask them, why? Why do you want to meditate? And he said that he works, at a place where he has to drive about an hour and a half to reach there. And he leaves by 8 in the morning, comes home by 8:30 in the evening. And his 3-year-old son is waiting, looking out the window when Papa will come. And he said, as soon as I enter, I have no patience, no energy to play with him. But he wants to. I'm not talking about physical energy, sister. Mental energy is not there. I'm irritable. I just want to eat and sleep. I want to watch some TV or, I can't. So that energy, that threshold, like I can't tolerate anymore, I can't take it anymore, that threshold, to increase that, I need self-empowerment. I need to give that energy and time to myself, and I need to empower myself so that something which is so difficult for me becomes easy. Like you say, क्या बड़ी बात है? हो जाएगा, क्या बड़ी बात है? I should be able to not tell others but tell myself. So the more I'm able to become powerful, I'm able to nurture this inner power, the soft power. If I'm nurturing it, what happens is it automatically brings forth, that kind of environment and the kind of relationships and the work in such, it becomes more easier and effortless. See, let us say someone shares the same weight as I, right? And he is lifting up 100 kgs in one go. He's a weightlifter, he's been practicing, and he lifts it up in one go. And you would come up to me and, "Sister, you have the same weight as him. Come on, lift this 100 kgs. I said, "No, I can't." "Why not, sister? He has your weight." I'll say, "Look, he has practiced it. He's more powerful physically. His practice is to such an extent that it becomes easy for him. It's easy. I can't imagine. I can't, 20 kgs from there till here, it's very difficult for me. So the thing is something which becomes so easy for a whole lot of people. Why should it become difficult for me? Because I've not been building my spiritual muscles. I've not been working on that. Like how you build your muscles, things become easy, right? You can lift things easily. So if I keep on, it's not too much of hard work. It is this little practice of building my muscles, building my muscles. And what are spiritual muscles? Thoughts. You're sitting right here. You're all sitting here, comfortable. Are you all comfortable? Yeah? Okay. So you can just take a thought right now, right here. That you would not be knowing everyone sitting here, but probably one or two people you've accompanied with. But you can just take a thought that everyone who's sitting here, I want them to be happy and have faith that everything will become all right in their life. Can you take that thought? I would wish everyone who's sitting here, from your heart, not mechanically, from your heart, everyone who's sitting here, I would like them to be happy. And whatever they might be going through, whatever situations they might be going through, I wish them that they will be able to overcome, and they should have that faith that they will overcome it. Yes, you could do that. Was it difficult? Meditation over. You worked on a muscle. Yeah? Started building on it. You can't have a situation coming and telling you, oh, that's a nice situation, let me think good. No. Whilst you are moving about your life, you can start building these muscles. So when you're doing this, when you are empowering yourself, what happens is automatically these powers come into the picture. So you will see on the slide here, 8 powers. Yeah? We'll start from tolerance. So it's one of the most important powers. The minute I mention tolerance, many a times I have had this experience. The minute I mention tolerance, a lot of people say, sister, that's difficult. There's a limit for it, sister. You can't keep tolerating all your life. There's a limit for it. And if you keep tolerating, others will take advantage of you. And then somehow you'll end up with a disease if you keep on tolerating, mental or physical. And that's how people have experienced. It's not like they're just talking just something that's come into their mind, but on the basis of my experience and others, this is what eventually happens. Now let me tell you something. If I were to ask you right now, can you remember those times when you tolerated an incident, a person, a situation? Do you remember those times in the past? Yeah? You must be remembering at some point. Now let me break it to you. If you really tolerated it, you will not remember it. Tolerance does not come with pain. Tolerance is painless. Suppression is painful. So what we talk about, something having a limit, something that others can take advantage of us, something that you can end up with a disease, is what we are talking about is suppression. It is not tolerance. You must have tolerated several times, up 10 times in your life, but you won't remember it. Others would come up and say, how you tolerated that? Sir, oh, kya badi baat hai? He will say, what is there in that? There's nothing. There's this lady, she must be a very young mother, back in Hyderabad, she must be 22. She has a 3-year-old son, naughtiest to the core. I mean, he wouldn't sit in one place, he was running everywhere. And I'm like teaching her meditation, right? And I would speak one sentence, and then he will come and say, Mama, and then he wants to pick up something, jump somewhere. And every time she would pause and say, Beta, aisa nahi karo beta. So, my God, but the thing is, when you are trying to be good and you're angry, you can make out. It shows in your eyes. You are irritated, but you're trying to control yourself because of people around. But here I could see through that she wasn't interested. She was not getting irritated. Every time, koi baat nahi beta, baitho. She knows he will not sit. After the whole thing, we decided that she's going to come another day, leaving the little one at their in-laws' home. And we were going out, and I told her, I have to tell you that you have a lot of tolerance. She looked at me and she said, sister, you face read, is it? I said, no, I am not into face reading or anything. I observed your behavior. She said, what behavior? Like how, the little one is running up and down and falling upon everything, and you've been very patient with us, so a lot of tolerance. She said, sister, every 3-year-old does that. I said, every mother knows that. But they can't tolerate it. Isn't it? A mother has a lot of love for the child. But she won't be able to tolerate it all the time. So the thing is, you wouldn't know that you're tolerating. That's what is the magic of tolerance. You won't know. You know the difference between a person who's tolerating and suppressing? You know how you can make out? I'll give you a little thought. Think over it. Let us say you know somebody who's been suppressing for years, and he is right in front of you. You would feel like, we say in Telugu, ayyo papam. Like, you say, bechara, kitna bardasht kar raha hai, kitna un par guzar raha hai. You feel bad for him. But if someone is tolerating, you would look at them and you will not feel bad for him. You would think, why am I not like him? Kuch bhi touch hi nahi hota hai aadmi ko. You get what I'm trying to say? There's a difference here. When a person really tolerates, it inspires you. You would not give sanubhuti or something like that. You would feel you want to become like them. So, and the greater impact of tolerance is that others change. There's a direct impact. When you suppress, others rebel. It increases. The behavior increases. There's a mother-in-law back in Hyderabad, and she happened to get her son married. She's a very young mother-in-law. She must be in her early 50s, and one son is already married and grandchildren. And so this very difficult daughter-in-law. Very difficult. She had a lot of demands. I don't want this food, I don't want that food, I want designer clothes, I want, all that. And for everything she's making amends for her. So everybody's complaining why the mother-in-law has to adjust when she has to adjust, things like that. She's never complained. She's okay with it. Eventually, they had a huge fight, the husband, wife, the son. So they left and took an apartment, the in-laws. They took another house and they're living. But still she inquires with the daughter-in-law and asks her how she's doing and everything. So, I happened to meet their daughter, and she's saying, how my mother is suffering, I said, your mother never complains. So how can I say that she's suffering? About 3 months later, the daughter-in-law comes over to meet me, who's creating all this havoc. She comes over and she says, sister, I have a problem. So what is it? My mother-in-law. How can your mother-in-law be a problem? She went out of the house. She gave you everything that you wanted. How can she be a problem? She said, that's not the thing. The thing is, she's too nice. And I'm hurting her. Will this meditation teach me how to behave? Others change. Now, if I were to call up the mother-in-law and ask her, you tolerated Deepthi so much. She'll say, when, sister? She'll say, when? It's not a big deal. When you have power, you won't feel it. This is tolerance. And the more you tolerate, the more you accommodate. That is the next power. To accommodate is, I have 1,000 problems, I have 1,000 moods, I have several weaknesses, I have issues going on, I have people, around me who have several weaknesses and several situations. None of that will show in my interactions on my face. It's not like I'm suppressing it, I'm understanding it. Because the more I bring it out, the more it takes over my life and more it, increases that problem. There was this, I'll just give an example. This girl, her parents called me and they said, we are at my daughter's house. It's her in-laws' some anniversary, right? And we don't see our daughter. We ask our son-in-law and he says, you find out. I mean, she's supposed to be living with him. And he says, you find out. Aap dekho, kahan to honge, mujhe nahi pata. So they keep calling, she won't pick up the phone. So they called me. Sister, can you just call? Maybe she must be little, moody. So probably she can lift your phone. So I called her. She picked up the phone. And she said, sister, मैं नीचे नहीं जाऊंगी. मैंने कहा जाना ही पड़ेगा. Because it's your in-laws anniversary going on and so many friends and relatives are there, you have to go. Nee, this man, she's talking about her husband, he fought with me, he said such nasty things. I'm not going to go. So why not? मैं नाटक नहीं कर सकती. She said, that means I can't act. I can't act like a good bahu and go down there and meet everyone. I can't. I said, it's not acting, it's about accommodation. We can deal with this. We can talk to him, you can do whatever later. But when the situation requires, accommodate. So that you don't throw your behavior around where people can see, oh my God, she's moody. Oh my God, she's upset. Oh my God, she locked herself in the room. Oh my God, she's not talking to somebody. Oh my God, she doesn't want to deal with these people. Why do you want the world to know? Can't you deal with your mess yourself? To make it clear and visible to others means there is no power to accommodate. A lot of people have this habit of, you can tell, they'll say, don't tell this person. So why? They say it will never remain, it will go spreading. They'll tell 100 people. In just a span of, maybe a half a day, it's gone to everybody. To accommodate means to understand that you could see something as being wrong or right, but then you don't get it into your system. And then you start feeling something is wrong, and then it starts working on your mood. They say kings don't cry in public. It's not like they don't have sorrow. You don't have to. What would you get? So throwing your behavior around where people have to pick it up behind you means a lack of power to accommodate. It's like a notion you take in, that this is a power. And the more people have, the more power of accommodation you have, you know what the sign is? You must have met people, you yourself might be having a lot of power to accommodate. You know what the sign is? People ask such people a lot of advices. You wouldn't know, they must have gone through a lot. You don't know, they don't talk about it. But they have. So the first sign of the power to accommodate is maturity. This is an inner power. A lot of wisdom they will have. When you are very moody, you're considered very immature. Isn't it? People say, you're very moody, very immature. Then comes the power to discriminate. You see the power? Discrimination is not that discrimination, a negative thing that you discriminate among people, no. Discrimination is what we would say in Hindi as parakhne ki shakti. Parakhna. Ki who needs what and what needs what and how to be what and when to be what. I can be a happy person and I can enjoy myself and make everyone happy. Lovely quality, isn't it? To make others happy, is it a good quality or not? It is, no? Let us say someone dies and people are crying. Would you consider that a good quality? To go and make them laugh at that point? No, you can't go and make people laugh when they're all mourning somebody's death. Let me tell you a joke. Can you say that? No. So a quality, when it is placed, when you do the right thing at the wrong time, You're giving advice to someone when they don't need it. Lack of discrimination. You're speaking when you should not speak. You should keep your mouth shut. And sometimes when you have to speak, you're quiet, not saying a word. Like you're sowing a very good seed in infertile land and expect results. You won't get it. Somebody was telling me, sister, I have a very difficult time at work because my boss is, he's really difficult. So I went and I shared it with my husband. So every day she's sharing with her husband. And she's saying, he's so difficult, I have a hard time. And then the husband is telling her, leave the job. You know how it is to work in corporate. This is what is going to happen. Leave it. You can't do it. You don't have that capacity. Leave it. Every day you're complaining. Leave it. So she comes to me the next day. She says, sister, I'm very upset. Yeah, about what? I'm not upset. I'm more upset than my boss with my husband. Well, why? He said, I just want someone to listen to me. I just want to relax, Share. Who wants your advice? I don't want your advice. I don't want to quit the job. Why will I quit the job? I want a little. Take out of my system and feel a little relaxed. So to have the discrimination, that what does this person require? Like I've made 36 varieties of wonderful food with lot of love. Now 36 varieties is a lot of varieties, okay? And so you come. And then you ask, sister, I just came from long distance. Can I have a glass of water? No. I made so much food and you're asking for water? First eat. No, sister, I want. Jisko jo chahiye wo do na. It gets complicated because you're giving in too much of your energy into things where it's not required and it is not appreciated. I had a father and son who had come and met me, and he's telling, he's like this, about the son, he's saying he's like this, he's like this, he's like this. So, the boy is telling, times have changed, Papa. He keeps on telling that, times have changed. So, sister, look at my shoes. You know how much it is? They're from America. So, he's saying $30, $25, my shoes. $300, sister, look at your shoes. I said, oh, I have never heard $300. I'm just thinking. And then, he said, stop. That boy is telling, stop. Papa, can I speak? Yes, speak. He said, my father is a doctor. He's telling, in front of his father. My father is a doctor. His father is a farmer. $30, $300. That's about it. Don't even talk anything more. He said, sister, my father talks about walking about 5 kilometers to go to school in his hometown somewhere. My school is just like 2 lanes away. What do? I should go around 5 kilometers and enter? No, walk with the times, he's saying. People around, especially youngsters, they don't respect your experience, they don't respect your age, they don't respect what you've contributed to the world. And rest assured, it should be respected. I would vouch for it that it should be respected. But they won't. Like I'll give you one example. I was in the airport and there was this lady sitting next to me in the waiting area. We've not got onto the flight yet. And this boy, youngster, maybe a teenager, he's running through the airport. Probably he's going to miss his plane or flight or something. And she had a very, elongated bag next to her. And it was like, right in the way. So this boy, when he ran, he pushed that particular bag to a little distance away. So she, she was limping and she walked towards the bag and I went to help her. And we were picking up the bag and she stopped him and she said, "Dikhai nahi deta kya?" I said, "Can't you see we are going?" And that boy, he looks at her and says, "You don't know where to keep it?" I said, look at the audacity of this boy, has no respect for elders, this is what you might think. So, aapko nahi pata kahan rakhna hai. So, she looked at him immediately, she's a very sensible, wise lady. Immediately she said, sweetie, she called him, sweetie, wahan koi jagah nahi thi na. There's no place there. He said, it's okay, Auntie G. And he took that bag and put it there and went. Same boy who said, why did you keep it there? It's okay, Auntie G, not just Auntie. Auntie G. And put it there and went. Give me respect, I'll give you respect. Soft power. Discrimination. When to say what to say when, get your things done. Don't complicate it. Then comes the power of decision making. Power of decision making, it's like a balance, that you weigh, there's vegetables, person will have that. I don't know how accurate it is. But what determines it is that needle in between, which is heavy and which is not, right? So when I have to make a decision, a lot of people, when I talk to them and I say, why do you want to do this business? You have such good academics and everything, why do you want to go into business? And the reason I have heard, which is like, I can't imagine somebody who's taking up so much of money and doing such a big business, I like to. What is that? I like to do business. And some people have told me, I don't like to work under anybody. These are not the reasons to do business. You must have some exposure, you must have some understanding because you think you can be good at it, or you have someone who's taught you to do it. I don't like it, I like it. In Telugu, we say, ishtamu ante kashtalu ekku untayi. And if you keep on saying, I like it, I like it, I like it, you will eventually find a lot of difficulties. Sometimes you have to do what you don't like. Decisions cannot be based on a feeling. It cannot be. You can always do the right thing and feel good eventually. There's somebody, he was making a decision, and at that point of time, she wanted to talk to me. And then I told her, the only thing you have to do is your capability, your capacity, to be able to cope with it after this decision. You'll be able to do that. What is your capability? Let us say there's someone who's a watchman in a company. You offer him a chairman's job. What would he say? What would he say? Give me the money that the chairman is earning, but I can't take that role. I mean, it's a wonderful role, but I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. Who can take that stress? It is just not the role. It comes with a lot of stress, isn't it? So the thing is, I have to understand what is my capability, what is my potential, and what is the benefit in taking up this particular thing or doing this particular thing. Somebody was going in an auto and she's made a decision. And she called me crying, I want to divorce. In the auto, she's going to her parents' home. I said, why are you going to your parents' home now? She said, because there is a puja in my home. Okay, that's okay. But why suddenly you feel that you want to divorce? She said, I'm not going to go back now. I won't go back. Why? You know what the reason she tells me? She tells me that they're on the 3rd floor or 2nd floor somewhere. Every day when he goes to work, she goes to the balcony. They have a balcony looking over the road. So she goes to the balcony and she waves at him. Bye-bye, have a good day. So he also looks up and waves. Okay, that's fine. Nothing wrong. Now she left home and she's going to her parents' home. Well be it. Now she looks up, he's not there. He's watching cricket. So she's asking me, is cricket more important than me? I said, why do you want to compare your husband to a game? Yourself with a game. Game is temporary, you are permanent. Na? Isn't it? Understand your potential. You're always there. Cricket will be over 1-2 days, don't know how many days. Somebody coming to the balcony and waving doesn't determine somebody respecting you or not. No, but I cannot take it. It's happened so many times. And no. Each one's priorities are different. Your decision should be on the basis of what you attain, what you have. Now let us say this stage must be 4 feet, 4 or 5 feet, I don't know. It must be, I don't know how much height it must be having. Now I made the effort. None of you have made that effort that I have made. I walked up about 6 steps up to come here. None of you did that. Aram se you came and sat there and comfortably sitting there. I made the effort. So I have the best view possible, isn't it? Best view. None of you have the view that I have. खुशी मनाओ कि नहीं मनाओ? खुशी मनानी चाहिए ना? इतनी हाइट की तो जगह मिली. खुशी मनाओ. Now if I am not happy with this 6 or 5 feet height, would I be happy with 12 feet height? No. I have to make my decision right here. Because this is where happiness starts. I can't wait for it to become 12 feet. This person should be like this, like that, and then I'll be happy. This situation, no, I can't postpone it. I have to decide right now. Power of decision making. How do I decide right now that I would, somebody did something terrible to somebody. He did terrible. He's telling sister, I don't want to meet him without thinking and making a decision of how to meet him. Because I want to meet him like that always. I want to meet him by forgiving him. I want to meet him and not remembering the past. These are decisions, not just business or a marriage. And nowhere in a marriage or your work or anything do you get a piece of paper that we guarantee happiness for you all through the job, all through the marriage. Is there something that you sign like that? Does anybody give you that guarantee anywhere? You can make yourself happy, you manage yourself. Somebody called up and he was telling us, what did he say? Yeah. So somebody, called up his mother and she's saying, Ma, I'm having difficulty with my in-laws, this and you know what the mother said? Manage yourself. Every mother these days they say, manage themselves. If a mother is not sensible, she'll say, come back. Until unless he is a wife beater, why come back? Manage yourself. Manage yourself. So managing yourself is a decision. Then comes power to face. Power to face is an ability that you take responsibility, whether it's your mistake, it's not your... I remember when I was studying in school, I don't know which grade I was, and somehow we shifted a little far from school, and I think we couldn't figure out when we should start from school. We means it's like my whole entourage of people, like my grandparents and my mother and father, everybody, that we have to start early to reach there. So I would inevitably be late. And the teacher would tell me to stand outside. You're late, stand out. And so the period, I think I would just miss standing outside. So it went on for a few days. And then one day I said, I've got so tired. I just got in there and I'm 2 minutes late. She said, stand outside. And then every time I'm giving an explanation that auto didn't come. My grandmother didn't make my breakfast in time. My mother, I'm giving, and she said, no. Stand outside. No explanation is pleasing her. Then one day, I said, sorry teacher, I'm late. Come in, sit down. That's all I had to do. Take responsibility. In this environment, 2 minutes late is wrong. You may have 100 reasons, but you are late. You have 100 reasons, but you can't react like that. You may have 100 reasons, but you can't go and say anything to an elderly person and say, no, he was like this. No. Power to face my mistake, power to face a disease, a death, or a debt, or anything. There was a person I know, and he has 2 children who are like 12 and 14. He's a doctor, his wife is a doctor, both of them had night duty, they both have gone. They've left the children with the grandmother. The grandmother's gone to bed early by 9:30. They both are watching TV. At around 10:30, the chore enters. From where he entered, I don't know, but he entered. As soon as he entered, the 14-year-old girl started screaming and running in the room. The 12-year-old, or 11 I think she was at that time, she had a conversation with the chore. What do you want? I know where mom keeps silver. Come. And he took her to the cupboard and he took the silver and everything. And then he left. The parents came and said, it's okay, no problem, nothing happened to my child. Nothing happened to my children. Let the silver go, money go. That same thief had gone to 2 houses away, another house, and he hit a man with a stone. And he was bleeding, 70-year-old bleeding, he was hospitalized. So he's capable of attacking because they don't come to kill anybody, the thieves. They only come to rob. They can't manage this fear. I think in 2017, I met somebody from America, and she's an American, and she's been meditating with us for the past 3 years. So she was sharing, we're just sitting, and then she started sharing, and she said her husband was away at work, her daughter is in university, she was alone at home, she's sleeping, and we have a habit of waking up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning to meditate. So in between, she woke up to see what is the time. So she saw it was only 2. She said, I have another ample 2 hours to sleep. And then she sees one man at the end of the bed standing there and looking at her. Now what do you usually do? I mean, usually means it doesn't happen usually. So what would happen when somebody is standing at the end of the bed like that? You would just scream, isn't it? But she immediately prepared herself. She looked at him and she said, I locked everything. How did you come in? I mean, that man would have such conversations back home with his wife and children or his parents. Nobody that he goes into attack would have a conversation with him. See, he was unprepared. Because when you scream, he will jump over you and attack you. But he was unprepared. So he said, I'm hungry. So she said, there's a pumpkin pie in the fridge downstairs. Please go have it. So he went down. She locked herself and called 911. And before the police came, he was gone. Now the police started appreciating this person. He said, you are so great. Nobody can have conversation with a thief. You were so good. The spontaneity and the ability to, accept the situation and then have conversation with him. That is power to face, to be able to have that thought at the right time. One of our very senior brothers in New York, he was in that 9/11. He was on some floor, 30th floor or something. They were going down. And he kept on telling a group of people, God is with you, God is with you, don't worry, don't worry. And he would let them go in the front. So all of them asked, where did you get this power from? How could you do this? How could you even accept the fact that it is okay, I have time to help others? Because everybody is looking for themselves. People actually jumped out of windows also. So to have the power to face at the right time. I might think I have power to face, but the right time you would know how much power to face you have. That you don't get this storm in your mind. Right? And the power after that is power to cooperate. It is not as simple as going and helping people. It is not as simple as that. Cooperation goes very well with discrimination. In the name of cooperation, you can make others depend on you. Somebody was paying the rent, paying the kids' the fees, paying the groceries, paying everything for his brother. And he comes to me and says, sister, please pray for my brother. Meditate for my brother so that he gets his job because he's going for the interview. I said he won't get the job. Even if he gets it, he won't do it. Because already he left 5 jobs. Why would he when somebody's paying everything? Isn't it? So I have to understand what is cooperation. It is not like making people depend on me. Through my mind, somebody was telling, sister, I have a very weird kind of a colleague at work. Weird, why? Sister, when something is difficult and I'm trying, he comes, stands next to me. He has to help me. He stands next to me and said, nahi hoega, chhod de. What is your problem? I'm trying here. Can you just, if you don't want to do, don't do it, na? Why do you keep on passing these comments? Nahi hoega. Through your mind, you're giving good wishes. At least she's doing it, let it be okay. I think that much we can give to people, have good wishes for others. You know, nowadays we have these marriages. I don't know about the whole India, but in the south, even north, I think they've got this very expensive cards that they come. And these cards have, an idol and a drawer with cards in it, and so many things are there, And so I got one of those cards like that. And I congratulated them and everything. And this is the kind of card that you can keep it forever. It's like in your puja room, you can keep it. It's like that. So there was a very expensive wedding. They said it is about 15 crores they spent in one destination somewhere, I don't remember where. And all the relatives from Hyderabad had gone. Quite a few relatives. They had gone. It must have been, I think, somewhere in, I don't know, outskirts of Mumbai somewhere. So they all went and they all came back. They were in a 5-star hotel. They had rain dance and pool dance, what not they do. Right? And I met all of them, right? One after another. And I asked them, I said, how was the wedding? Because why do you call so many people? Good wishes for the couple? Because marriage is quite a difficult thing. I mean, they have to adjust to new environment. So you need a lot of good wishes from people. That's why you call people, right? So, paise feke. That's what they said. They threw money. Well, you took that money, na? They threw it, but you stayed in the hotel, ate all variety food, and why can't you appreciate? When you go to any environment and invitation, the first responsibility is to cooperate through your mind. The कहते कहाँ भी जैसे you want to make it pure, you just put gulabashi, that rose water. That you should do with your thoughts. May them be successful, may the marriage be good, may they all have courage and all that. You wish through your mind. This is number 1 cooperation. Through your words, appreciate. बहुत अच्छा किया, बहुत creatively किए, very nicely they've done, they kept it very nicely, with a lot of respect they gave. Something you should say, some good thing you should be able to say. Cooperation. There's one girl, she came to me and she said, sister, I'm getting this thought in my mind in the night that I want to jump from the balcony. Night mein. So I told her husband, I said, please brother, very seriously I told him, brother, please be careful. She wants to jump from the balcony. She's frustrated. I will see if she needs medical, some sort of professional help. So take to a psychiatrist. He said, don't worry sister, he's telling me. Don't worry, I'll lock the balcony with key. I said, that is not the issue, but he's not understanding. I said, okay. Then again, next time she came, 3 months later, she called me and she came alone. And she tells me, nowadays when I wake up, sister, you're getting the thought to jump. No, that thought went away. Now what is that? She's telling me, I look at my husband, I feel like taking a stone and throwing on him. I said, oh my God, that's terrible. I know it's terrible, so I came to you. So I said, now don't do that. So again I called the husband. Now I can't tell him this, na? I can't tell him this. So I told, see, you better appreciate her. What appreciate? Like, for example, I said, when she cooks something, just say, it's very nice. नहीं मैं झूठ नहीं बोल सकता. मैंने कहा नहीं, it's not about something she must be making nice. No, something you think, brother, but you have to appreciate her. You have to. This is the sign of lack of appreciation. So he said, I'll think about it. And he thought. Seriously. After 15 years of marriage. So one day he thought, what is it that I should appreciate? And then he went up to her in the kitchen and he said, Swati, said what? I want to tell you, when we got married the first year I told you that I want cucumber not cut like this, like, discs. I like it like long with namak and, nimbu. I told you, yeah. And from that day onwards till now, you never cut the cucumber like discs. You always cut it long. I appreciate it. She said, what? Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for doing that. That I know it takes little more effort than that. So thank you. I said, okay, she said. And then, sister, I went to work, came back. All the time I think, she should be taught how to smile. Sister, natural smile, sister, when I came back home. This appreciation you told, sister, he's saying, your appreciation is working. I said, it's not my appreciation. This is there within you. You have to emerge it. This is cooperation through your mouth. You can do it. It's okay. Kabhi hota hai. This is appreciation. This is cooperation through your mouth. Action, do and show. Do and show. I know somebody now, he is in his 40s. He tells me, for everything I feel, sister, I should go for a walk and I should sit for half an hour reading something nice. For everything I feel that is a solution, sister. I said, why? For everything, that is a solution for me. I should, and this half an hour I should meditate or do something calm. But why did you feel this? Did you read somewhere or something? He's saying, no, I saw my father doing that all his life. He never told me to wake up early. He never told me to walk. He never said sit in half an hour. But looking at him, he's no more now. But I know that's the only tool that can make me happy, because that is what I watched. And that is what I saw that made my father what my father is. And that's what I want to follow. Through your actions, you teach. You don't have to tell anything, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to give lectures and lectures and lectures. There's a young boy, 9-year-old, he comes and does seva in those days. Now he's grown up. So I would tell your father is coming from Singapore. Go home. Go early, he'll come. What are you doing in the center still? No, I will do this seva, he'll be just, helping here and there, like drawing and things like that. He won't go. I said, why are you not missing your father? He's gone for 2 weeks. He said, tomorrow I'll meet him. Why? Because the day he comes, no, Didi, he'll start. You know how the children in Singapore are? They go and give newspapers, they sell like this, whatever, he'll start. I don't want that, Didi, I don't want. So I will only meet him at the time when he start opening my gifts. So to be able to cooperate is through our actions, then speeches. It doesn't work nowadays. It doesn't work. So finally the power after that is the power to withdraw. In Hyderabad, if you had been there is one fort called Golconda Fort. It's quite a popular sightseeing place that people go. And then if you go to the light and sound show in the evening, they tell you a story of how Golconda lost its glory because a certain, a king or some enemy entered the gates. He could open the gates and come inside the fort, and the glory of Golconda finished. Why? Because the enemy inside the fort opened, the spy opened it. Or else they would have not been able to come in. So, in any situation that comes in front of me, the first thing I need to do is to step back and look within. What is that insecurity and what is that disturbance in me that is causing this trouble for me? And why this particular situation is triggering so much pain and so much irritation? What is that inside me? We had a training here back in 95 in Gyan Sarovar. We were here for a month. And in that we had been given a thought of what are your root causes that troubles you in your life, you know. So we had small groups. So countries from, I think 50 or 60 countries, they were all here, who are from different centers all over the world. So there was one brother from Africa and from Peru, and myself, another person from somewhere else, I don't remember. We had a workshop. So what are your root causes? We are all saying something and deeper aspects. And this gentleman from, South Africa, he said, my family and my colleagues, they all don't listen to me. That is a problem. I said, this is a very superficial thing he's talking. We need to go deeper. So we told him, brother, you need to go a little deeper. What deeper? This is the deepest. He told me, this is the deepest. They don't listen to me. That is why I have a problem. So the facilitator, he's from Brazil. He said, I think you need to go a little more deeper, like how your, group members are telling you. Why don't you take a break from this group and go after lunch, don't come back and spend some time in one of the meditation rooms and think over why they don't listen to you, keep on. He was quite upset, it looked like that. So he left and he didn't join us and he didn't join the next day morning session also. And wondered why he's not coming. Then in the afternoon he comes hesitantly sitting behind and we called him, is there something you wanted to share? Why are you not joining us? He comes and says, I'm very reluctant because I have discovered why they don't listen to me. The deep cause you were mentioning, we got the deep cause. I said, can you share it with us? It will be helpful. So hesitantly he said, they don't listen to me, my friends and my colleagues, because I don't listen to them. It always comes back to us. There's a saying somewhere, I don't know who said it. If you give love and you don't get love back, check your love. What quality love is this? Some mixture is there. Check it. It's very important to do that. So withdraw, step back, like the tortoise, it will go around and if there's nothing, it will withdraw. If an elephant would walk over it, nothing will happen to it. When you have the power to withdraw again and again and again, what happens is you're able to understand why the situation is there in front of you. Most of the situations magnifies itself because of something inside. The last power to pack up. Sometimes when we don't put a full stop to things, like somebody was talking to me and they said, sister, my wife is very, when she gets very worked up, she gets very historical. Oh, you mean hysterical? No, historical. 10 years ago you said this, 2 years ago you did this. Going back into history. You're not able to put a full stop to it. To be able to let things hang on like that, it will trigger at any time, any emotion. Not even a comma, not even a question mark, but a full stop. It's over. Now what? I remember we went to one town is there, Kakinada. There was this fertilizer plant there. We were doing a program there for them. And Hyderabad is not a beach town. We don't have beaches there. And I think when I was young, I must have gone to some beaches here, there, and not much. My parents have taken me. But I've not properly, know how beaches work out, So this beach was different. So that particular driver, that brother, I think he felt so bad for us because we were lecturing from morning 9 to 1 and then from lunch break from 2 to again another 4 hours. Every day for 10 days, this was my schedule. Continuously. So he felt that they need a break. He only felt. He said, sister, instead of going back, can we go to a beach. It's a beautiful beach is there. Huh, really? So you can just relax a little bit, you and both the sisters. But okay, it was empty beach. And we just went till the water, we went there. We were quite tired actually. Huh? But they said, let us just dip our water there and come back. We just went and stood there and all the crabs came out. So many crabs, I can't tell you, full of crabs. There's nothing but crabs around the beach. And we both don't know, we both are from Hyderabad. We don't know the difference between a crab and a scorpion. Right, we just don't know. And they said, my God, they'll bite us. So we both were holding each other and standing there, not moving because the crabs are around. And then the brother, he sent us and he's sleeping in the car. Even if you call out also, he can't hear us. The waves are so, loud. And then we were going on thinking, let's meditate. No, there's nothing we can do. These crabs might bite, these scorpions might bite us, And then after a while, he saw these sisters are not enjoying, but holding each other and standing there. So he comes, what happened? They said, see all these, they're going to attack us. So he said, no, put one step out, everything will go. They said, no. We said, no, it will bite us. What kind of advice are you giving? No, put a step out, sister, nothing will happen. And one step and all went in. They all went in. That's all that is. Full stop. Full stop. Everything will become all right. Full stop. नहीं ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था ना ऐसा क्यों हुआ ऐसा क्यों होता है मेरे साथ ये सब. How long can I go on and on and on? Somebody came and told me that, in the hospital, my brother is admitted, sister, with bypass surgery. So should I go and meet him? I said, I have never had anyone coming and asking me to go and meet their brother who is hospitalized. I said, why are you asking me? Sister, the thing is, I have not spoken to him for 20 years. My God, what is the reason? Do you want to share? And he said, I don't remember. What the reason is, don't remember. When you don't put a full stop, it extends. It's important to put a full stop and bring all the expansion into the essence. All these 8 powers are within us. I don't think so you need to learn it. I'm just reminding you. This is just a reminder. You all have it. You've used it sometime or the other. But then they most of the time they're discharged. Where you need to use the power to tolerate, you might use the power to face there. Mismatch. Now, this one person is coming and he's telling me, sister, my wife, she's shouting, screaming, continuously when I'm eating. So I leave the food and walk away because she continuously attacks me, continuously. There is no peace of mind. Sister, I'm tolerating a lot. I said, no, you should not tolerate. He said, I should not tolerate? No. You should face it. Face, yeah. When it's your mistake, because you had an affair, it's your mistake, so you face it. She should tolerate you, because it is not her mistake. You understand what I'm trying to say? There's a difference here. You face a situation where you have caused it. Where you are responsible for it. You have to do something about it. When it's not your mistake, you tolerate. So when it is your mistake and you're saying, I'm tolerating, what? Does it really work? I'll give you one example so that you can have more clarity about it. And then after that, we'll have a workshop. Okay? So a couple who had come and he said that he has a problem with his wife. And she's been fighting, having arguments with his mother for the past maybe 2 decades, and they are not happy. So he said, sister, you need to make her relax, teach her how to meditate so that she stops these arguments with my mother. Because there's no happy moment in my house. I come back home, I work hard, and I have to face this because both of them are crying and they don't even interact with me and nobody's happy. Why do I work hard, sister? How much should I tolerate? He told. I felt quite genuine, And then I looked at her and I want her to share, is there anything you want to say? She did this. She didn't say anything, no expression. Suddenly he got this call. He said, sister, I'll just speak and I'll come. He took the phone and went out. As soon as he went out, she literally runs and comes next to me and says, sister, before he comes, let's talk. Okay, let's talk. Tell me. Sister, yes, it's true. We have been fighting, myself and my mother-in-law. We have been major fights we have. That's true. But the problem is not my mother-in-law and the problem is not me. The problem is him, he. How can he be the problem when you both are fighting? The sister, when I am crying in my room, she is crying in her room. What should he do? He should come and ask, Manjula, what happened? So your mother said this. He should say, my mother is like that, leave her. I am there for you. Whatever you need, you ask me. I am there for you. She is old, she won't change. He should go to his mother also because she doesn't have anybody. She should say, Amma, what happened? Your wife is so... She should say, she is one jiddi lady. Leave her alone. She is stubborn, she won't change. I am there for you, Amma. Whatever you want, I'll give you, I'll tell you. He won't do any of these things. He'll stand there and say, be happy, be happy. That's not how it works. You don't have to tolerate there. Contribute something which is essential. So what we're going to do now is a list of questions. And I would like you, how would we make groups? Like wherever you're sitting with people around you, is that okay? Because you can't turn the sofas around, right? So wherever you're sitting, turn around, like you three, like that, whom you can interact with. I'll put questions across and then you have to, have you put the questions across? And please read these questions and see which power is needed in it. Anita, can you read these questions, please? They are simple, practical questions that we face day to day. And I've put only those questions that people have asked me through so many years. Yeah.
I'm content, but people are not content with me. Why so? The second one, my role is to see that others perform better, but when I correct, they get hurt and increase negativity. What do I do? I go out of my way to help people, but others take advantage of me. Is helping wrong? I like to be disciplined with my time, but others waste my time. How to make them understand the importance of time? And the last one, I get angry when people are wrong, but others feel that I'm overreacting. Is it right?
So which power is lacking? And what is that power with which they can get a solution? Among these 8 powers, you can discuss with groups of 3 or 4 around people who are sitting with you. Go ahead. Please give a chance for everyone to speak. Can they put the powers this side and the questions this side as possible? Okay. 8 powers, Radhika. Anita. 9 o'clock break for all of you. So, will they play a song or I just can get up and
Commentary or song? Silence.
commentary this Swedish poetry. After 2 minutes I'll give one example at the end of power song. Inside
ఈ క్వశ్చన్స్ లోనా
ఎప్పుడు చెప్తాను ఓకే మీరు లాస్ట్ 3 minutes వరకు పెట్టేస్తే నేను కమెంట్ చేస్తాను
అండ్ ఇప్పుడు పేపర్ తీసుకున్నాక ఇంకా టైటిల్ కూడా ఏమైనా చేస్తారా?
Do you need some more time? Let us work together. What do you think for the first question? For the first question, what power you think? Power to adjust, accommodate, right? And the second one, the second one, increase negativity. What to do? Power to discriminate and tolerate. And the third? Discriminate. Is helping wrong. Okay. I like to be disciplined. That particular one? What's the importance of time? Adjust. Huh? Okay. Pack up. Pack up, you said. Okay. The last power? The last situation? Tolerate. Tolerate. Let me tell you something. You can go on discussing the whole day. Huh? Each one your experience, each one your own situations. It changes. The first particular situation of content, in some situations, maybe he's actually lazy. It's not like he's really content. He may be just lazy. So it's a different power that he has to use. So according to the personality of the person, the situation, the experience, the people around him, the power changes. What is common in all the powers is discrimination. You require discrimination to know which power to be using it. So you just can't say, that is why what all you said is all right, because you're speaking from your experience. It changes. It really changes. But this doesn't come immediately and like the moment that you think that it comes, that I want tolerance and it just appears. It doesn't happen like that. I'll tell you one little story I heard, and I always share this in the end of any session that I take. It's a little anecdote. It didn't really happen. It's about this lady who goes up to a magician and she asks him for a magic potion, that if she were to give it to her husband, he should have only love, because he's such an angry person. So he said, I'll make a magic potion, but then you should bring a whisker of a lion. He said, where do I find a lion? He said, I don't know. Bring it and I'll make it. In the outskirts of her village, there's a forest, and it seems a lion would come there and drink water. She stood there and waited, and lion really came. But what she did was, from a long distance, she would stand there, watch the lion and come back home. Every day for 6 months she would go. But every day she would take 2 steps forward. 2 steps forward. And at the end of 6 months, she was very close to the lion, and the lion got used to human presence. She tiptoed towards the lion and she plucked his whisker. The lion said, nothing, take it, no problem. So he took that whisker and gave it to the magician, and he examined it and he said, oh my God, this is a real whisker of a lion. She said, yes, proudly. He just left it to the air. She started crying, why did you do that? With so much effort I bought it. And he said, madam, if you could tame a wild animal in 6 months, what is your husband, What is your husband? 2 steps at a time. 2 steps at a time that it takes. It doesn't happen in a jiffy. It doesn't happen so quickly. You have to take two steps, and then you start building these powers within. So what I would want you to do is think about a major problem in your life right now which is bothering you, whether it's your past, your health, relationships, your financial thing, or it could be any situation. Think about it, that which is bothering you, and then give it to God. You say, God, I surrender it to you. I want an answer for this. Just tell him, I want an answer for this. We'll do an exercise now. Okay? Have you done it? Okay. Now you think about a number between 1 to 20. Any number between 1 to 20. Okay? Now you can see the list. Pick your number and see what God is telling you. Pick your number, whichever it is. Where is Anita? It is there, na? Yeah. I hope you get an answer. Yes? Keep this in your mind. Again, remind yourself. Whenever this problem which is bothering you brings back some sort of disturbance, remember this. Okay? Now sit back and I'll give you a few thoughts. Yeah. That you need to charge yourself again, as I mentioned, building your spiritual muscles again and again. Yeah. Sit back. Just let your mind go with the thoughts that I give you. If your mind wanders, don't worry. Bring it back gently. Don't force yourself to think in a certain way. Be alert and be relaxed, but not so relaxed that you drop off to sleep. Yeah? Okay. Yes. For those questions, is it? Yeah. See, the thing is, for the person who's saying, I'm content, others are not content, he requires a high level of what you call as a discrimination. That he should understand that I am content, but then I should make an effort to make others content too. Because that is a requirement of that time. Yeah? And I need to check myself, why is it that is I need to withdraw? And I have to check myself, why are others not content with me? As I mentioned, probably I'm lazy. And in the name of contentment, I'm not taking up anything challenging. So these two. My role is to see others and perform better, but when I correct, they get hurt. And, accommodate. First, you should be able to forgive them before you correct them. If you don't forgive and then you want to correct continuously, you can say anything nasty and personal also. That what direction you give, what correction you give is not wrong. But your intention and the feeling is what hurts. Because you might say something nasty. Because you're angry. So the thing is, so the negativity increases because of my intention, not because of my responsibility. So that is there. Accommodate. Accommodation brings forgiveness, no? Yes. When you accommodate, you will automatically know how to say it, when to say it, what to say. Discrimination comes and the method also comes. What words you select? Are you asking me a question? You're just sharing. Okay. I go out of my way to help people, others take advantage of me. Discrimination. If you keep on going out of your way and suddenly you say, no, I can't do it, you become their enemy. This is what happens. You can't blame them, you have to blame yourself only. You can't go overboard on it. As I said, the true meaning of what is cooperation, you have to understand. I should cooperate, but in what way? I like to be disciplined to others, how to make them understand the importance of time. You can't. You can't, teach others how to prioritize time. Punctuality is for me. If you're punctual, it's for me, not for others. So, this requires tolerating others. Tolerating others. The first thing is I should not start off by thinking they're wasting my time, no? I can communicate to them in the right way, of course. There's no problem with that. But the thing is, there are a lot of ways to prepare myself. A lot of ways to prepare myself that they don't waste my time. The problem here is that you think that you want to teach them. That is where the problem is. I get angry when people, tolerance. Okay? Huh? Huh? Yes. That is not possible in this world. Anywhere. My way or highway. You have to follow, you have to. I'm very, like the punctuality, I'm a very punctual person. Everybody should come punctual. No, you be punctual. Others will not be punctual. Who knows whose values are what? Their values are accuracy. Yours is punctuality.
Second last question, you said power to tolerate. You are working in a corporate and group context, but tolerating, if it impacts the overall outcome or goal of the project.
No, this is your personal time, no? This question is about with my time, but others waste my time. How to make them understand the importance of time? In a corporate setup. So the thing is, each one's speciality and the way of functioning is different. Now, if I want to, guide them towards, let us say, do things in time, there is a way. Some people are very auditory people. You should be able to discriminate, the power of discrimination, to see that I need to go on appreciating. Oh my God, you did it in time. You did it in time. You did it. You have to go on talking about how good they were. That cooperation you have to give through verbal appreciation. Some people are what you call are very visual people. What do they receive? What do they get? And there are some people who really have to feel it. That this is something that the company is valuing them. So that there are a lot of things. It requires a lot of patience and discrimination. But as I said, it becomes natural. It becomes very natural if you have the power.
In my case, ma'am, I use everything. Stamp,
Hmm.
and for last 6 months, the situation is not every day they give, it's missing. Every week they come and say, standard food, okay, next week. Again, next week when you go, it's the same release, plus 1 week.
What travels, from us to others, what travels is our thoughts. Not what you say, not what you do, what you think. I usually believe in a sandwich method. If you want to correct somebody, I believe in it. First you put the bread. Look, you're not doing things rightly. I mean, you are really good, you've been doing well, and these are your specialty, I really like you, and this, which is true, you're not making it up, bread. And then the masala. Oh, then you've not been doing this, you're not punctual, or you're not doing it in time, and then you put another bread immediately. But I know you'll overcome it, you're going to overcome it and show. It works gently. If you put masala and 10 breads, it won't work. There is a method. They say, jahan vidhi hai, wah siddhi hai. Where there's method, there is success. But to be able to use it, lot of patience. No stress, it will work. Yeah, you should try. Yeah. Okay.
So different, like we may be using this power, but different people will also react differently to this, whether they are subordinates or peers. So
Each one their own. Very, very different. But if they don't have the right kind of discrimination, they'll be using the wrong power and wasting their time. No, it will not get resolved. And each person they own, as I mentioned, each one, some auditory, some, visual, all kinds of people and all ways of functioning. Some people get tired and say, I don't want to think about anybody, I just want to think about myself. But then you just can't relax thinking just about yourself because you are connected with so many people now. Okay? Sit back, just stay in this moment, stay in this silence, and gently remind yourself that while sitting here, surrounded by everyone, I remind myself that I am a treasure house of all these powers deep inside my being, behind my eyes, as a point of light. I'm a leader from within with these soft powers. Influencing every decision and every interaction in my life. Above this world and above the universe, beyond all is God. And His powerful, kind vibrations and rays fall upon me, filling me with those powers. He is the Supreme Being, and He knows what I need more than I can ever know myself.